It's review time again! Okay, I'm gonna have to start it off every time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just finished watching the first 2 episodes of the new Max series. Gosh, I'm just literally gonna call it HBO Max because I don't like the name change of the app. I really don't. But anyway, I just finished watching the first 2 episodes of the new HBO Max series, Gremlins, Secrets of the Mogwai. They're roughly around 23 minutes long, so this will be a quick review. I'm going to talk about the first episode first, my thoughts, and personally what I think about it. So, let's get to it. Alright, so beginning with the story of episode 1, it kind of gives us a little background information on Gizmo, where he comes from, and basically his village of other Mogwai that live there. He sort of gets separated from them and ends up in Shanghai during 1920. Which apparently also had the time when boats were around and cars were still around. I don't know, maybe they started around maybe like 1910 at some point, I'm not entirely sure. We end up meeting the Wing family, who basically has their son who wants to grow up to basically make remedies and herbs with like different ingredients and stuff that they find. While going on a little shopping trip with supposedly his dad, his grandfather takes him and decides to, go on an adventure with him, even though his parents don't want to. However, they happen to stumble upon Gizmo, who lives in he's abducted by the circus people. I had to clear my throat there for a second. And apparently now they escape. And surprisingly, they make the big mistake of getting Gizmo wet. And now a bunch more gremlins have popped up. Not only that, the main villain of the entire series appears. I didn't know what his, first name was. Riley Green, I think his name was. Yeah, it's kind of a dumb name for a villain. Alright, and let me give you my final thoughts on what I think about the first episode. Honestly, I liked the beginning a bit more of the first episode. Gave us a nice little introduction. Well, sort of an introduction, not really an explanation completely of what Gizmo's Mogwai species is. Nice to know that where he originally came from, a village of them. My only biggest complaint about the episode is the fact that they give Gizmo's name already at the beginning of the series. When fans of the original Gremlins movie know that Billy's dad is the one that gave Gizmo his name. Because apparently he was just named Mogwai. He just didn't have a name at first, so Billy just I don't know, it's some kind of Chinese name, so I call him Gizmo. He seems to like it. So yeah, that might be my only complaint about the episode. And I think this series is kind of leaning more towards a kid-friendly adventure. That is until I watch the second episode, and I will post a video on me reviewing the second episode. So, what do I give episode 1? Solid 4.3 out of 10. Not really a decent or good start to this series, but I don't know. Maybe as time goes on, when more episodes come out, we'll see how things go. It's review time! And today, I said I know I probably am late doing this video, but today we are doing my review on episode 2 of Gremlins, Secrets of the Mogwai. So episode 2 picks up basically right where episode 1 left off, where the kid basically poured water on Gizmo, and now we got a bunch of little gremlins running around the shop. But they aren't going to stay too long because they have to leave town. Sadly, though, the Mr. Green guy shows up, and the grandpa tries his best to distract him, his bumbling henchman, the little girl character we saw at the beginning of the episode, which, by the way, her name is Elle in this series. Really? You couldn't think of a Chinese name for her? I don't know, maybe Ling or something. Just something that eases the tension. So the grandpa tries to distract them using a magic drum thing, or, that little spinning drum thing from Karate Kid 2 that helped Daniel learn the spin technique. Well, apparently it does magic. That doesn't really stop Mr. Green, so he uses his own magic of his own, which also does a little reference to Big Trouble in Little China when Lo Pan did this with both of his pinky fingers when he did his magic. It's a nice little reference. It doesn't make any sense to anyone who's probably not watched Big Trouble in Little China. Anyway, he basically traps the grandpa inside a green pearl orb and proceeds to eat him. Not joking with you people. He freaking eats the grandpa. This freaking episode starts off right, I'll tell you that. So anyway, the kid escapes with Gizmo. He stays for the night in an alleyway while his parents go off to try to escape. They get captured. He's left with Gizmo, and the other gremlins basically escape. He ends up getting caught by Mr. Green and Elle, basically. I'm just going to call her Ling because that's not a good name for her. Basically, Ling decides, yeah, I'm going to help him because, I got to get paid somehow so I can be out of debt from this guy. And the kids decide to leave the gremlins, who, by the way, have eaten after midnight and already gotten into their weird little pod things. And the episode ends there. Wow. Sorry if that took so long, but I had to do it quick. I'm going to already say it. Episode 2 is definitely way better than the first episode. It definitely had a better continuation on the story to it. It had its own fair share of dark moments, considering the dark moment was off screen. But other than that, it was good. So I give episode 2 an 8 out of 10. Real decent job.